So, one of the things that I really respect as far as keeping money is when I go shopping for certain grocery items, I really love, especially when it comes to food. I love items that I could get more than one use out of. For example, sometimes people think that, well, instant coffee is just that instant coffee. Actually, you can use it as a flavoring agent. For example, when some people make ganache, they utilize some instant coffee with the chocolate. I don't know the specific recipe offhand, but it is utilized. That's just an example. So I love things that you could do other things with. I had a conversation with the visitor not long ago, and we were having coffee, and I said, would you like some creamer? And then when I put out the powdered creamer, they were like, "Oh, you don't have the liquid one." And I was like, there's really not much of a difference but some people insist that there is. What I think they're really looking for maybe a lot of added maybe thickeners or sweeteners or whatever the flavor is. But here's an example of a dual purpose coffee accessory item. I never thought that coffee had so many accessories. Like back in the day, when a person drank a cup of coffee, there was two choices. You either had milk or you had cream. Excuse me, wrong. Milk, cream, or half and half. There you go. Now, I mean, it ranges from the sublime to the ridiculous in the choices, and I'm not quite ready to open up a coffee bar just yet. Maybe one day. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a wonderful, thing to be able to do at home to have all those flavors. However, there is a vast array. Now, I buy specifically the powdery ones, and I have no problem with them for myself. When you're a family of one, you get used to buying the things for yourself. But then as you expand and when people visit and they're looking for other things. So it reminded me of something that I actually had mentioned quite a while ago, but it bears worth repeating. You don't have to keep the powdery coffee creamer that is usually a lot less expensive. Just saying. You don't have to keep it at that powdery level. A person could simply make their own liquefied coffee creamer because I'm feeling like this that I get it that sometimes people like to cool down their coffee with a chilled product. Okay, so for example, just look at the measurements and how it would work per cup, and you have your own container. All you have to do is boil enough water, add the correct ratio to taste of the powdery creamer, mix it to that, let it blend in like you would normally as if you were adding it to a hot cup of coffee, for example, or tea in some people's cases. Then you could add, if it needs any sweetener, this is where the sky is the limit and you could get creative. Like if I do this with the vanilla powdered creamer, automatically I have liquefied vanilla powdered creamer. I don't need to buy that. I find those can be on the expensive side. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I consider them like a luxury type of item. So, like, you could experiment with that. You could add a little bit dash of cinnamon. You could add whatever flavor you want. For example, they also have the hazelnut powdery creamer on sale for a very, very good price. Sometimes when I, order it, I was considering ordering that recently. And I said to myself, well, since that I know that person likes the hazelnut liquid one, who's to stop me when I know in advance to make a little bit of that, put it in the refrigerator and it will keep. I mean, there's no, problem on that. It's worth the experiment. We need to step out of the box sometimes and try certain things. But if, of course, if one could get it at a good price and keep, the one that you already have done up from the grocery store available and get it on sale, hey, sure, who's to stop you, from getting that if you get a reduction or a coupon or something like that. For me personally, I don't need that type of an item. If I'm going to lighten my coffee, what I usually do, I call it my own version of half and half. What I'll do is I'll put a little bit of that powdery creamer, let's say, for example, just the original one, which lacks flavor and lacks sugar. So I just put that in. I put in a little bit of 2% milk. And in my mind's eye, I call it half and half. Hey, it works for me because I'm getting a little bit of the milk and I'm getting a little bit of the creamy flavor. You have to be creative. But I said to myself, I'm not just gonna, go out there and spend $4 or $5 for the, totally remote possibility that somebody has to have, that ice cold creamer, unless I get a good deal on it. That's not something that I would ever want to pay full price for. Something that I personally don't use. You see, because that would go against my philosophy of stocking up on things that I really like to use, as opposed to things that is a possible maybe that someone else might want, and the remote possibility that they might want it. So you have to add that up and consider which purchase is a want or a need. Or you could also try my trick and get a little bit creative. Just saying, just saying. Anybody out there have ever done that? Liquefied your powdery creamer? You can do it. We can do it. Try it just for fun. What's it worth? A little bit of time, like a couple of minutes to boil the water and add it to your powdery creamer, and then add your own flavorings. Try it out. You never know. You just might even like it. Have a great day, everybody. If you found value in this video, don't forget to slam down the like button. Have a great day.